The FOMC releases the minutes from its last meeting today, and it may provide some clues as to whether a December rate hike is likely. For some perspective on that, I'm joined now by the CEO of Investors Bank, Kevin Cummings. Good to see you again.
It's good to see you, Rhonda. How are you?
I'm doing well. And it's great to have your perspective on what's happening with the economy. So the way you're seeing things with your business, do you think a rate hike is warranted next month?
Is it warranted, or will it happen? And
Both, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen because rates have been so low for so long. I thought it was going to happen in September, but certainly in December, I think it's going to happen. But it's how many rates after that things go up is really the most important thing.
So what's your view? First of all, we always hear that rising rates are good for banks just because of the way you do your business, interest on the spread and things like that. What about your customers, though? What are you seeing currently on the lending side with small businesses, with consumers? Will that change if we get into this series of rate increases that the market at least is betting on for 2016?
Well, if the economy picks up, wages will pick up, and hopefully it'll be neutral to the consumer and to businesses. In the short run, I think the 25 basis points is more symbolic than anything else. And then we also have to think about is next year's an election year. So I don't think the Fed has a large window, because normally when you get closer to the election, they kind of move to the sidelines.
Aren't there some people, though, that get priced out of, say, even the mortgage market pretty quickly? I mean, a 25 basis point move might not sound like a lot, but if you're trying to balance a budget, it might mean for some people that little bump up in rates makes things unaffordable.
It will be more difficult, but you're talking to someone whose first mortgage in 1984 was 14%. Rates are still historically low, and hopefully those opportunities with increasing wages, increasing velocity in the economy, hopefully the housing market won't get hurt by it. But that's the risk, and I think that's what the Fed is trying to balance, that risk.
Does it change the way you think about your business at all? I know last time we talked, you were eyeing some future expansion possibilities. Do rising rates impact you at all in that way?
Interest rate risk is a bank's, I think, at these rates, our biggest risk right now. And we're more concerned with a flattening of the yield curve, which will hurt our margin. If rates move gradually, we have a sufficient amount of capital to grow, and we'll do fine.
Well, when you say capital grow, does that mean you still have enough capital if you want to pursue expansion opportunities?
Well, we have 16% capital, which is twice what the normal capital rate of our peer group. So at $20 billion, we have the capital today to double in size.
You mentioned next year was an election year. That didn't get by me either. Now, we've had lots of conversations floating around about bank regulations and Dodd-Frank, and it's been part of the undercurrent of the debates that we've seen among the GOP candidates. Do you expect changes on the regulatory front if we do see a GOP candidate who wins the nomination then goes on to the White House?
Well, it depends what happens in Congress, too. There's pretty much a lot of gridlock down in Washington. But if the Republicans have control, I would expect, hopefully, less regulation moving forward.
And that would be good for you? That
would be helpful, yes. It's a burden, but really, what I say, it's for the sins of a few, many will pay. And you got to go back to 2008, 2009, which resulted in Dodd-Frank.
So when you look out to 2016, beyond rising rates, what do you think the biggest concern is for your business right now heading into the new year, which isn't that far away?
It's always about jobs. This country needs more jobs, more better paying jobs, and tax reform.
Kevin Cummings, good to see you again.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'm Rhonda Schaffler for The Street.